when it comes to the topic spiritual awakening, before we start talking about it, first we need to know, why did universe came into existence? I know most of us might have this question at one point in their life. Like, what's the point of all this drama? Like, who created all this? Like, why do we need rivers, oceans, birds, animals, creatures, humans with all these different personalities? Like, what's the point of all this drama? Right? So, the creator of the universe, which is energy, it doesn't have any size, shape, or form. It's pure energy. It's like a supreme consciousness. So the consciousness wanted to know itself, like consciousness itself questioned, who am I? And with that question, the five elements came into existence: earth, water, air, sky, all the five elements: Prithvi, Jal, Akash, Agni, and Vayu. So when all these elements came into existence, the creator started playing with those, working with those. And using those elements, the mineral kingdom came into existence. So first, the creator experienced itself in the form of minerals. After that experience, the creator moved on to the plant kingdom. From plant kingdom, it moved on to the animal kingdom. After animal kingdom, we, the humans, the ultimate creation of God, was created. So right now, currently on the earth, it's said that there's like 8 billion population approximately. So most people think that the purpose of human life is to take birth, go to school, get a degree, get a job, get married, have kids, their education, their marriage, retired, and then go back. Do you think 8 billion people on the earth are here to do the same thing? So each and every soul on the earth has a purpose. Everybody is here with unique intention. But the souls, the humans, who actually question life, okay, who am I? Like, what's the purpose of all this drama? Who decided which country am I going to take birth in? Who decided which parents, which siblings, which spouse, what kind of kids am I going to get? Whether I'm going to get married or am I even going to have kids? Or like, who is making all these big decisions in my life? For example, most people think that the creator, the God, is making all these decisions for me. Well, we normal individual human beings, by giving birth to our kids, if we become parents, then the creator who has given birth to the entire universe is a parent figure to us. If we can't write anything bad in the destiny of our kids, how can a creator make decisions for our life that somebody is going to lose the job, somebody's going to get divorced, somebody's going to pass away at a young age? If we can't write any challenges in our kids' life, how can a creator who is a parent figure bring challenges into our life? So the human who actually starts questioning, who am I? Where did I come from? What is afterlife? Where does somebody go when they pass away? Who makes those decisions of my life? When all these questions starts popping into your head, thank the universe that you are waking up. You are waking up as a human being. We think, oh, I wake up every morning, but that's not a true wake up. The true wake up call is when we actually start wondering about ourselves, about the creator, and about life situations. So So, first, we need to realize that when one starts questioning all these questions, we have to realize that I am the creator of my reality. Why and how? So, the thing is, with all these technological advancements, with all this scientific research all over the globe, none of the scientists have been able to create a soul in a lab or in a factory. Nobody can stop somebody's departation from the earth. If it's their time, it's their time, regardless of the medical advancements. That means when a soul decides to take birth, or when a soul chooses to leave a body, it is a choice of a soul. So, all these things, when we start understanding, accepting, and researching through the books, through spiritual teachers, that's when we can say that yes, we are awakening. So, most people, for their own either happiness or misery, they give credit to either God or external circumstances, like other people, other situations. Even if they are having hard time in life, they will be in a blame mode. XYZ is the reason for my misery. Because of this person, this happened. Or God, who actually wrote this in my destiny. But the awakened human being actually realizes that it's my own soul who chose all the circumstances, situations, and the characters of my play on my own. So when we take ownership of all the experiences we are having in this life, that's when we are truly awakening. So I think most of us already know, but I want to remind us there are 3 reasons why we take birth as a human being. Why does a soul choose to incarnate as a human being? There are 3 major reasons. The first reason is to experience. For soul, everything is experience. We actually categorize things. This is good, this is bad, this is happy, this is unhappy. I like this, I don't like this. For soul, everything is neutral. There is no judgment from soul's perspective. So the first reason the soul takes birth as a human being is to experience. The second reason the soul takes birth as a human being is to evolve. What does evolution mean to the soul? So there are soul lessons and soul purpose that each and every soul has to master to become a godlike or to realize that I am God. As Patriji says, that we are all gods, right? So to realize that a soul has to evolve where it has to master the soul lessons and soul purposes. So the first reason was to experience. The second reason is to evolve. And the third reason is to express. To express, each and every human being on the earth is gifted with certain talents. Whether you realize it or not, you are talented. Some people are aware of their own talents. So you're good at drawing, you're good at singing, dancing, you're good at communication. It could be anything. So each and every soul has its own talent that has to be expressed. When we express our own talents to the universe, it is our gift to the universe. So let's remember we are here on the earth to experience, to evolve, and to express. When we realize that these are the 3 reasons, the way my life is playing out, we will be more in the acceptance mode and we will be more in the mode of handling the situation in a positive manner instead of just blaming the external circumstances. And when we are aware of our own creation, that's when we can say that yes, we are evolving and we are awakening. There is this book called 22 Soul Lessons and Soul Purpose. In PSSM, Patriji always recommends that book. When I came across that book, I was so happy. I'm like, I didn't even know what was my syllabus. Like, I have taken admission into this art school, but I didn't know what I was doing in the art school. But when I came across that book and I read through each and every lesson that I'm supposed to master, I mean, there is a long way to go, but at least I know the syllabus now. So that's what it is. We need to know what we need to master. And how can we figure that out? So once we list out those 22 soul lessons and soul purpose, we have to look back at our life and we can look at the situations that have been in the repeat mode. There would be some scenarios that will keep playing again and again through different people in your life because it's a reminder for you, there is a lesson for you here. So we ourselves can check our life so far and we can figure out what's my lesson here. So the situations that has given you emotional turmoil, upset, like you felt like, oh my God, life is hard. Those are the situations that you can look back and you can see that life is not hard. There was a lesson here. I need to figure that out. What was my lesson? Once you learn the lesson, I promise you, those situations are not going to repeat because you have mastered your lesson. So there is no point of that situation to play out in your life. So that's when we can say that yes, we are awakening, when we are figuring out our own soul lessons. Even when the extreme circumstances are playing out, you know that I am the creator of my reality. And when you are aware of that, it's giving you an opportunity to stay in the positive mindset. So the next thing I want to talk about is what actually happens when you are awakening. So when you are awakening and you're questioning life, oh, who am I? Where did I come from? Where would I go? Stuff like that. That's when all the other people around you, could be your coworkers, neighbors, even family members, who would be busy with their day-to-day life, job, grocery shopping, watching movies. You will be internally asking all these questions and you'll feel alone because you'll feel like, oh my God, there's nobody that I can talk to about these topics. Even if you'll start talking about such topics, 80 to 90% of the people will like, oh my God, what happened to you? Are you okay? Because most people live in the materialistic world, in the external world, and they don't even think about these kind of topics. But we are lucky that we are with PSSM and Patriji has given us these beautiful groups on Zoom where we can connect with like-minded people and we can actually talk about these kind of things and we don't feel alone. But initially, when somebody wakes up and they don't even know about PSSM, they don't have any family or friends to talk about, they do feel lonely for some time. So there is a good possibility that you feel internally lonely, but stay connected to this group and you won't feel that. So awakening is actually a process. Some people think once they realize through other teachers, through spiritual books, through resources that, oh my God, this is called spiritual awakening. Maybe my soul is tapping on my shoulders and telling me that there's something much bigger than what you think about. It's good to be happy about it, but let's remember this is just the beginning. Awakening is not the goal. It's not the final ultimate destination. The moment your awakening journey starts, that is the beginning of your actual evolution. So let's be happy and thank the universe that we are all here in this group listening to this talk means we are awakened human beings. So let's be grateful to the universe, right? The other thing that can happen when you are a human, when you are an awakened human being is sometimes you feel guilty when you overreact to situation, when you argue with somebody, when you get upset with situation. You feel guilty about that because you're like, oh my God, I am an awakened human being. I'm on spiritual path. I meditate. I read books. How can I scream at somebody? How can I argue with somebody? Even though we are awakened human beings, we have emotions, we have feelings, we are in this human body. So, yes, situations are going to come. There is a possibility that we might react, we might overreact. But let's not feel guilty about it and slowly come back to our center, come back to our spiritual core, and understand that the situation that actually made me aggressive, got me angry, is the situation created by me for my own evolution. So, yes, in the beginning, you might overreact, might get angry, might get upset, but slowly you will realize this is a creation of me. And as you will keep growing on your awakening path, there will come a time through meditation and through spiritual seeking where you will not overreact. You will not scream and shout. You will not argue. But as I said, it's a process. But when we are beginners and we are going through our emotions, let's not feel guilty about it and stay grounded on our spiritual path. Now that we have started asking big questions in life, let's remember there is a long way to go. Even though there's a long way to go, we are lucky that we have guidance from PSSM that how to keep going on this path. So most of us are familiar with PSSM, but I just want to remind that if you go on the PSSM website, there is 18 principles. So if we follow those 18 principles and we stay in our daily routine, having meditation, Sajjan Sangatya, Swadhyaya, and vegetarianism, if we continue following these practices, this path that seems long and unknown, it becomes much smoother and easier. I want to caution you when you are awakening. So we are saying, well, I'm spiritual seeker. I'm spiritually waking up. What are the cautions? Could there even be any cautions? Actually, when we are spiritually awakening, there is something called spiritual ego. I don't know how many of you have heard about it, but there is something called spiritual ego, where we see the other people utilizing their time in the external world, in the materialistic world. In any time they have extra time, they are just watching TV for hours together or partying throughout the week whenever they get time. You will feel like, wow, look at all these people wasting their time, and look at me. I'm utilizing my time. I know what I'm doing. I'm waking up early and meditating. I'm reading all these good books. You will feel like you are superior than everybody else who's watching movies and TV and who's partying. It's it's natural for a human being to feel like that. But if you are a true spiritual seeker, remember there is something called spiritual ego. And Patriji always tells us to be non-judgmental. So do not judge anybody's soul journey. Everybody's on their path for their own good. They have designed their own life scenarios and situations for their own evolution, experience, and expression. We are no one to judge anybody's life story. Yes, we can definitely guide somebody that these are your options, But then it is that personal choice whether they want to listen to those options and follow them, or they want to continue the life that they're living. So we can definitely give them that guidance, but no insistence that they need to meditate or they need to be on this path. It is that soul's personal choice. So let's be cautious about spiritual ego. So, last but not the least, how to stay in the awakened state. I mean, okay, yes, we are fortunate enough where our soul realized us to ask these big questions: who am I and where did I come from? But how to stay in that state? It's very normal and natural to get sucked into the human story. It's supernatural because out of 24 hours, I would say 95% of the time we spend playing out our normal life scenarios. Most human beings barely have 5% of their day for spiritual practices. That means 95% of your day, you are a normal human being. So it's very easy to sucked into the drama of life. So we need to stay in this awakened state. How can we do that? We need to go within or meditate every single day without skipping a day. We need to meditate because by meditation, we are going to connect to our soul. We are going to be in the soul consciousness. We are going to remember that as I am a soul, everybody else playing out the scenario is a soul. And we are going to remember that my soul is connected to the Supreme Soul. And we are going to remember that I am not alone. Anybody who's on a spiritual path or somebody who's not on the path, everybody has spirit guides. Everybody has angelic help. So we know we always have help to be on this path and we are always guided. I'm sure most of you have experienced this. But whenever we make a decision of knowing ourselves or knowing God, we just have to take one step towards God, and God will take 99 steps towards you. Because God is eager to see you, to meet you, is even more desperate than us, is even more happy than us to meet us. But we need to express that 1% interest in knowing and learning about God and connecting with God. Thank you all so very much for this golden opportunity.